That's a wonderful two words to say, eternally. That's beautiful.
That's what I found with the law. That's
Beautiful. Eternal love.
yes. And it's not a word. It's a knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
Everything Allah has given all His creation is a knowledge. So us having the best of all creation, we got all His knowledge. No, that wasn't you. All praises.
I said, I was, I made a suggestion. Can we read the self again? Can we
I remember
read
you
the
said
self
that.
again?
And then you can read it.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, let's do it.
I'll read it.
Okay. So this power.
Mm-hmm. So for 45, the self, Al-Nafis. 1. O you who believe, let it be said, Al-Nafis. The self, the one, the being, in the 40th name of Allah, the one, the absolute, the almighty. The separation of the I from the family and community. The perspective of the world from being aware of one's own existence. The awareness of the I to its own existence. Self is therefore nothing more than a unique perspective, and part of the greater self of Allah as it observes the dream of creation. The most excellent jihad is that for the conquest of self. He who knows his own self knows the divine creator. Devotion of religious duties will not atone for the fault of an abusive tongue. A man cannot be a Muslim till his heart and tongue are so. You want to stand on the heart and the tongue?
You gotta get his heart right and his tongue. Get his heart right, then his heart is love. That's what's gonna come out on his tongue.
The mind has got to be in line with the heart.
And number 10 says, he who knows his own self knows the divine creator. That's what the people's problem is today. That they haven't got in touch with self. And they don't really know who they self. They go by all these different names like Black American, Afro-American, Negro, colored folks, you name it, and we proclaim it. And that's what comes off everybody's tongue, is those words that they say. But they never know anything pertaining to self. And that's the most important thing it is, to know self. We get to know others before we get to know self. We focus on the outer before the inner, every time.
Actually knowing who the divine creator is.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that divine creator? You have to know yourself.
Yeah.
It's just that simple.
Yes.
13. Whoever has been given gentleness has been given a good portion in this world and the next.
Gentleness, kind.
What is gentleness?
Mm-hmm.
14 has been given a good portion. Oh yeah, I just read that. 15. Whoever suppresses his anger when he has in his power to show it,
Mm.
Allah will give him great reward. That's,
When that anger back.
that's
In difficult times.
right. In the heat of the moment.
In the heat of the moment. Temperance. That old temper, boy, it'll rise up real high.
Mm-hmm.
And make you say things you regret. Not only saying, but doing in your action as well. Because some people go swing behind that temper. Or grab that gun and start shooting behind that temper.
Mm-hmm.
Or grab a licking stick
Mm-hmm.
and start swinging.
That takes a lot of energy.
It does.
It just takes a lot of energy
It does.
to be angry.
Yep.
I know it say slow to wrath.
Yep.
Be slow to wrath.
Slow to anger.
Just say to that.
Mm-hmm.
17. That man or woman is wise and sensible, who subdues his cardinal desires and hopes for rewards from Allah. So we speaking about rewards.
Mm-hmm. And in order to get that reward, it said a man or woman is wise. Take that wisdom.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. To abstain.
And you look at how people act when they're not wise. Or any of that we just read. Look at their behavior.
Right.
Just look at it.
So it shows they have no knowledge of self.
That's what.
That's what wise is.
That's what.
One who can sense
Mm-hmm.
your own desires.
Mm-hmm.
And we talking about cardinal desires.
Yeah.
If we know the cardinal self is the lower self,
Yeah.
which is the body of desires.
Yep.
But yes, this is why people who learn from people, they should see if these people can do these things themselves.
Right on.
Because this is where you get to the creator. It's an understanding.
Mm-hmm.
18. And he is an ignorant man who follows his lustful appetite. And with all this asks for Allah's forgiveness.
Lustful appetite.
Because you have choice.
Mm-hmm.
No one says you don't have choice. But why are you coming and asking for forgiveness later?
Yeah. And continue to do it. Now that don't make no sense.
Or having to come back and ask yourself why did this happen
Mm-hmm.
and it didn't go the way that you thought it should?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now a lot of them find ourselves in that situation now.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's pointing to us a difference between an ignorant self and a wise self.
Right on.
The ignorant self follows
Yeah.
the lustful appetites.
Mm-hmm.
And we hear the word appetite.
Yeah, appetite. Mm-hmm.
So we know when that feels empty,
Right. There's a hunger going on.
There you go. So now it's really talking about conquering
Mm-hmm.
your hunger
Yeah.
when it's speaking on an appetite.
Mm-hmm.
For this is why people lose their weight, because they go after the hunger. The wise self subdues.
Mm-hmm.
See, not the appetite, the desires.
Yeah.
Those are two different planes, two different lower selves working. Cardinal desires, lower self, and lustful appetites. Look at that working together. That's a lower self mind and a lower self body
Yeah.
working hand in hand.
Hand in hand.
19. Do not mistake wisdom for holiness, or holiness for virtue.
Mm. Now, I want to just elaborate on that just a moment. How many people that should go into the house of Lord, house of God, or church, and they proclaim to be holiness, but their wisdom isn't there? Because you got obesity people say they holy, and they all out of shape, they got bad health, but they sharp when they get to the church house. See, we playing around here if we ain't careful. We doing some evil and ignorant things, because you would think that just because you went to church and the preacher preaching, and now you want to shout or you proclaim to be holiness, but yet your wisdom ain't sufficient. It's insufficient. Because it just speaks about the wise and the ignorant man. You could be ignorant and proclaim you holy. I see a lot of that. Our people has it bad. You know, but
Because it's an underlining, if it's not any of those, virtue
yeah,
or purity itself
right.
is where it all boils down to, no matter how much you know
Mm-hmm.
or how much you give devotion to, you say, are you pure at heart?
Okay. Here we go.
And see, these are three high qualities that are being mentioned right here. This is why it's very careful for the self to understand what is being said here. On number 19 specifically, what I'm restating, do not mistake wisdom, that's one quality,
Yeah.
for holiness, that's another quality, or holiness for virtue.
Right on, that's 3.
Now these are 3 holy qualities. And it's telling you, don't get wisdom confused with these 2 other high qualities.
Right on.
Holiness is a high quality. Virtue, we know, is a high quality. But it's saying what's better than virtue and holiness is wisdom.
That wisdom. Yeah.
You wouldn't think anything could be better than virtue. Holiness. And that's why self needs to understand, it needs to go out, it needs to get wisdom.
Yeah.
Because that's what the two lines before it is basically saying. The man or the woman is wise
That's right.
and sensible, who subdues his cardinal desires and hopes for rewards from the law. And then it's the ignorant person who follows his lustful appetites
Yeah.
and asks for forgiveness. So it's like, do not mistake the two. You know what I'm saying? Know your choice between those two.
And this is what we was told as a reminder, for wisdom speaks from out of the highest plane of spirit life.
Beautiful. That's beautiful. Yeah.
So 20. Allah gives great and wondrous gifts to those he pleases.
You see, that's demonstrating to us what wisdom is like.
Yeah.
Did we catch? He whom he
He's
pleases.
pleased.
Thus, a wise man may be no better than the worst money lender. Wisdom is no measure of virtue. Virtue is very important.
See, it's breaking it down so conveniently and simple.
Yeah.
See, we think it's so complex. It's purity. What can be measured ain't wisdom. Wisdom has no measure. So for someone to define something for you is a measure. Just because they ain't saying 6 inches and 12 inches high,
Yeah.
words are measures. So they define in terms and boundaries. And they shaping conditions within the words, because the words carry what they call the spirit life.
But on 2021, thus a wise man may be no better than the worst money lender. Let's break that down.
That is a beautiful statement. See, because don't think the low. When you see the low, that could not be the low. The money lender representing the lower self. An action of the lower self may have to harm. Because a man had to do an action for a greater cause, does that take away his wisdom? Does that take away his wisdom?
Y'all ready to move forward? "23. A man blessed by Allah is a messenger, as a messenger, may be no better in virtue than a woman who sells herself without honor."
You know, it's getting pretty bad when a person, and we know this for a fact, that we got male prostitutes and female prostitutes, will sell themselves for $1 or some refreshment or some carnal desire or some bad habit they may have. Because a lot of people, when they get hooked on them drugs, that's when they'll really let it go. And you know, when you think about that and reading this, somebody in a bad condition to do something like that. And when they do it constantly, you think about that, they have really lost it, because they turn their body into like a product, like going to the candy store or the grocery store. You don't do that. But go ahead, sister.
And then it's like, what it's saying here too is like Allah gives great and wondrous gifts to those he pleases on 20.
Self got to tie it in for self.
And
basically saying on 23, a man blessed by Allah as a messenger may be no better in virtue than someone who is doing that,
Mm-hmm.
or someone that's out here doing drugs or any other
Right.
type of
Right.
low life.
This is what I was
Action.
going through. Any low life action.
Yep.
But the message itself. See, Allah bless someone with a message. It's saying looking past what they actually may do or what type of virtue they may have. Can you see the message? That's what I'm getting from these statements.
Beautiful. Mm-hmm.
Because wisdom may come out of the whore's mouth.
That's what
That's
it's
what it's
showing.
saying.
Wisdom ain't got no measure.
Yeah.
You can't know what way, what shape, what form is coming.
Mm-hmm.
It is what wisdom is. This is why we can't fathom Allah. Because Allah works so many ways. But he's trying to show self what self is.
Yeah.
Remember, he who knows his own self knows the divine creator.
Right on.
Divine, 25. Y'all ready to move forward?
Yeah, go ahead.
25. Divine commission does not make a man better than the poorest farmer. Thus, the greatest respect is unto those who never give up. So people may fall and fail,
Yeah.
but if you keep going and persevering and stay along the way,
Yeah.
that's what Allah please. That's what Allah would be pleased.
Mm-hmm. I am a witness. Mm-hmm.
May Allah fill the heart of that person who suppresses his anger with safety and faith. Safety and faith. 28. He is not strong and powerful who throws people down. 29. But he is strong who withholds himself from anger. If any scholar or preacher speaks of jihad being an external battle against a non-believer, expel them immediately as an imposter. And that's all you see from black people, Israelites, standing on the corner, pointing out non-believers. They see.
That's
They
good.
want to have some type of external debate.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And how many scholars you hear and preachers you hear, they be talking about the war of Armageddon, and they thinking some external battle.
Some type of big war.
So they think this is the war, like all that is going on now. They would say Armageddon is upon us right now. In Revelation, book of Revelation, the Bible says there'll be wars and rumors of wars. The external battle. Well, think about this. Within that person, those carnal desires is the one what got him in a rage of want to go out and battle and want to kill. So that tells you everybody that says war is out of their mind. They have lost it. And we done heard what the leaders of this country say. We stand behind Israel. Let them kill. We with you. And we can't, I don't know how long we've been at that war. I mean, you can't count the years of how long we've been fighting. We a fighting machine over here in USA. That's all we know. If we ain't fighting other countries, we fighting people within the USA.
It's always something you fighting against outside of yourself.
Yeah.
That's how they built this construct of war. Oh, excuse me, 32. For a true Muslim knows that jihad is a battle within.
Within. There it go. There it go.
The anger that is starting the wars, the anger that is killing these babies and all of this, who these people that are creating all of this, they not fighting their own battles within. And now getting everybody, millions of people involved.
Involved. See, that's why you gotta be careful who you joining. You be going to join these old militaries and law enforcement, and you joining Satan yourself. And you become a Satan, because they gonna have you with the blood stain on your hand and your soul as well. I asked somebody the other day, I said, did Jesus Christ, you love Jesus? He said, yeah. I said, but did Jesus Christ had a military? And at that time, Rome had a military. But did Jesus have one? He didn't need it. That's what Allah trying to tell us. We don't need all that. The big ships, the big planes, the atom bomb, the nuclear bomb, and they have the audacity to write a song and sing it, the Star Spangled Banner, and it's all about killing. They say the rockets and the bombs burst in air. And after all the bombing, the flag was still standing. And people said, God bless America.
And then I just want to say 27, it had said, may Allah fill the heart of that person who suppresses his anger with safety and faith.
See that?
See, they ain't safe.
That's
And they ain't
right.
got no faith. They fearful.
Yeah.
They really just on edge.
Yeah.
They don't know when judgment day coming.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of fear.
Yeah. And they'll put out color like red alert. There's a threat to America.
Right.
They put out red
right,
alert. They
right.
scare everybody to death. Is that what you just said? That's with safety and faith. Where's your faith? Oh, ye of little faith. Huh? You heard it before.
What we need a military for?
Yeah.
If everybody's so religious and they got faith in the Creator. They talking about protecting this land.
Yeah.
We got to protect the homeland.
Yeah.
Protect the homeland from what? From who?
Yeah.
When you got the Creator.
Yeah.
But anyway.
And since you said that, and watch this right here. You gonna protect the land, but yet you turn around and pollute the land. You pollute the sea.
Yeah.
You pollute the rivers. You pollute the fresh water. You pollute the air. And you talking about national security? Oh, you hypocrites. Playing the game with your mind, that's what you're doing. Playing a game with your soul, playing a game with your spirit. It's time to say time out. And regroup.
All right. So 33. That we might be virtuous and self-restrained.
Look at that.
That we might be victorious against the urges within.
Mm-hmm.
Verily, it is not the victory over self, as even the most holy man is at times defeated by himself.
Look at that. Look at that.
Self-sabotage
Mhm.
sometimes.
You have to be constantly on guard.
Correct. With
Cause
yourself.
it will come knocking on the door.
Right. Everybody want to point the finger at everybody
Mm-mm.
around them.
Point it at yourself.
At yourself. It's a battle within.
Yep.
I wrote one time that my heart was my trigger. It's like the gun within me.
Mm-hmm.
My heart is my trigger. I have to shoot down any type of jinn within
Mhm.
that is not divine,
Mm-hmm.
pure, virtuous.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I do for myself.
That's how you know yourself.
Yeah.
It's teaching. That's why at this state that I'm in, I mean, it's just like this, what it is. I don't see how people, well, that's how I see, no one got wise. All my life I ain't seen many people even mention the word wisdom. And to get in eternity, to get into truth, this is all that is the beginning point. Wisdom. That's not in anybody's mouth, especially growing up. So the only answer is for self to get wisdom. It's teaching you right now. And if you don't have that wisdom, it's telling us right here what's gonna happen.
Yep. And you know, I don't been on jobs. I don't been in the insurance industry. No matter what you doing, they train you. You gotta be wise or have knowledge or wisdom at whatever they training you to do, because ignorant man can't go out and do it. So that goes to show that even on the lower plane, that you even still got to have knowledge and wisdom to do whatever they doing on the lower plane. So you can imagine trying to fill in the blank on that when we need to rise up from the lower plane to the higher plane and allow that wisdom to work up there instead of down below.
Because it don't come below. Everything that's wisdom is divine. It stays divine. It don't move from that place. Anything that moves is called higher and lower. The divine don't move.
Right.
Just like the self don't move. That's why the self has to learn how to stand firm and just keep repeating to itself, the thing that's gonna move you the most is anger. It's gonna motion you. This is the greatest thing that man gonna face within his experience on life. How many people right now wish they can take that anger back so they can not be in jail? There's people in jail right now. Why? Because of just anger. Not because of wisdom, but because of anger. I don't know, but a lot of people got everything to say, but a lot of people turn on the TV, you don't hear the word wisdom. I didn't hear it till I came to Noble Drew Ali teachings. And this is why he will always get respect from my mouth. Because I actually studied. And why people don't want to say what the real answer is. Don't let me find it, because I'll share the real answer. But it's up to each self. These are things I had to think on. When I hear things for wisdom speak from out of the highest plane of spirit life, you don't know what that is when you first read that. You have been not practicing wisdom, right? Wisdom is a practice, but we don't know it. We think it's a talk.
What's the components of it?
Everything we reading right here is called knowledge of self.
Right, the knowledge of self. the knowledge that you're supposed to be gathering
Yeah.
through this journey. Everybody has this knowledge, but are you practicing it? Are you using what you're gathering?
Yeah.
That's what's when you're learning from those actions, that's what makes you wise.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
So, I'm thinking about the word smart. A lot of
I'm
people
glad
say,
you said that.
well, this guy's smart. I think this is we got to know the separation between wisdom and smart. When I
You
was
just said
reflecting
it.
to those companies, or insurance companies, I got to come down from wisdom and use the word smart, because whatever you're doing, you got to be smart at it, and they want to train you that way to be smart at what they're doing. So that's the difference.
That's the difference. You just keyed in. At the beginning, that's why they took us from wise.
Yeah, and went to smart.
And went to smart.
And that's what they
So
say
now,
in school.
yeah, when you do something that
smart.
somebody wants you to do, they say you're smart.
Yeah, look at that.
This is how they hijack. When you grow up in mind, this is how you review things.
Yeah.
So this is what smart means, because I'm glad you said this.
All right.
Because this brought it to the forefront.
Okay.
Smart means to cause pain.
Look at there.
Did y'all know that?
Look at there.
The etymology of smart, to cause pain.
So that explains everything then. The school, that's what they have on the car.
Right.
Smart.
That's what
they
I'm
don't
saying.
have wisdom on it.
Yes, the people ain't filled with wisdom because they'll be studying.
Smartphone?
Thank you. I was just gonna come to
A
that.
smartphone? Smart TV?
Oh,
Smart
look at
all
there.
of these.
Boy, they playing on our intelligence.
To cause
They
pain.
playing on whoever. They're not playing on mine.
Ooh-wee.
If y'all let them, so mo it be. But Sharif is not. Don't come to
We all
me.
have a choice. That's
Smart
what they-
television.
I'm telling you my choice. You ain't gotta narrate to me. I'm telling you my choice.
Right.
Smartphone, smart TV.
Yes, it's a reason why you think these people doing this.
And then we just went over through the Al-Sufyan. Why? With the Umayyad and the merchants, their intentions, we already
Yeah.
have went over.
Why is somebody mass producing something called a smartphone?
Yeah.
What is the purpose?
Yeah. Now
Have
we
you
know.
seen more killing now
Yeah.
before or after a smartphone?
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you watched so many killings now that you will never see,
Mm-hmm.
but it's for smart TVs? Now you get to see killings, murders, rape, steal, all because that what people pleases.
Because they don't suppress in their anger as well. Like these are some things that we ain't doing with self.
Mm-hmm.
Some actions we are not taking with self. With going back to wisdom, being wise in itself, you may know the right thing to do,
Mm.
but you're not choosing the right thing to do.
Man, you wouldn't think that definition of smart was that.
Right.
Mm.
And this is what the Rome wants to do. And it's like I'm the only one believe Allah. Because I see them doing it. And I would not stand for it, and I would not put myself in the fire. Why would I go jump in the fire?
Yeah.
I wouldn't even do that. So why would I even do the same thing that people are saying they wish they didn't have? Man, people, that's how you know people just cowards. If you read something like this and you can't come to the conclusion that you don't know yourself. I read this and I know myself because I've been on a journey searching this out. But I guess that's what death will do for you. Death to have you figuring out life because you love to live. And so if you love to live, then you want to be the wise you can be. Nobody know what to be in life no more. They want to be rappers, ballers, actors,
That's right.
players.
That's right. That's right.
And see, nobody you will hear, nobody want to be wise. Because it actually take effort. Just like all those over there take effort. But when you come and you searching for God, This is what God is. God is all wise. So people waiting on God don't know themselves. If they knew themselves, they'll know their own divine creator.
I was never the religious person growing up, but I did find the prayer, the Serenity Prayer, when I was younger. It just stuck with me. It's not a prayer that's in the Bible. It's not a scripture or anything, but the the wording, God grant me the serenity to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And it just nowhere had I ever heard that about yourself being able to have those choices. You know what I'm saying? So it brought me back to self. I always kept that prayer close.
For that purpose.
Right, because it's like
And you see why you was attracted to it. You didn't know what it was, but you knew what it was.
Right.
And that's wisdom. We all trying to search for this thing, but that's why I'm saying I be trying to talk to them, but it's just deaf ears. People just blinded by so much light they can't have it.
But
I thought Masons would be loving to love the search for light. We supposed to have a great world right now, man.
That's
Because
once you done started
That's right.
writing and signing, you done already been signing to be programmed to something. You see, they in
Oh
the system.
yeah, program.
Now,
but
so they might have started wanting to know light, but then they done got programmed, and damn, they like them
Oh,
got
yeah.
damn.
right, because they called wisdom light. This is the same thing. This is why no one knows what it is, but they searching for it. To what you got to know what you're searching for. What light are you searching for?
And see that, and I would that statement with wisdom to know the difference. It wasn't like I would have to search for it. It was like a understanding that it's something you need to know. So when I came into knowledge of self, it was like, a hand in hand. Like, okay, it's something else I need to know, and I know about myself because the prayer itself is bringing it closer to my heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's inward. Like it's saying, this is a battle within. Going through all the experiences that I went through, coming up to that point of KOS, it all made sense. I needed to know myself, and this is what the Al Sufyan is signaling and putting a stamp on.
Yes, this is the final reward.
To know yourself is to know the Creator.
It don't get no sweeter than that right there.
The wisdom to know the difference when you are in divinity and when you're not.
And the
It's like that
wisdom
simple. You got to know.
we must know.
But I'm go ahead and finish my. $37. It is that a man never surrenders, that no action is taken without an earnest test of character. So, I mean, the most toughest times, the most earnest times, where you have to surrender. In the end, a man who does not yield to his urges is a man indeed. Ooh.
See that?
Just a
Yield
man.
to them carnal desire. How many are willing today to give it up? How many are willing to give up them old bad habits that they have? And I know they got a track and trailer load of them. Not a small truck, but a tractor and trailer.
Hey,
That's why you see so many going up and down the interstate.
There's so many on the road now.
He got a load.
Mm-hmm.
That's full of desires.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. A load of desire that they taking somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
The Amazon trucks, I'm just like, look at all these people that ordered all this stuff. Like, it's just stuff full.
And
to the
it's
capacity.
not going to stop.
Right.
The world is at its lowest it ever been. Meaning, ignorance is at its highest now.
It is. I mean, high.
What we reading, it comes from back ancient, before ignorance even existed.
Existed, that's right.
Wisdom now seem like to not even exist because so much ignorance has flooded.
Yeah,
That's why he was saying we should know the truth,
that's right.
because all this go together with wisdom.
That's right.
The word is in Islam, and the word is in the only word wiz.
Yes, indeed.
Wisdom. It is what it is. Islam.
Right on.
Well, the only place you like really taught to even test a hypothesis, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to get to where are you taught to really test what you're knowing? Like chemistry, science, itself.
Yeah, they done created curriculums
Yeah. That's
to
right.
hijack wisdom.
That's right.
Because wisdom deal with all. Curriculum deal with a part.
Yep.
Because you said you took welding. That's like a curriculum.
Right on.
But did that teach the whole of everything?
Teach me nothing but just how to strike that rod.
And that's their gift of what they was trying to do to us, to hinder us by giving us trades.
Yeah.
Just think about if everyone was wise, there would be no trade.
That's right.
They couldn't even subdue a person to buy something that they knew was the opposite of wisdom. But now you could just put a candy bar in front of a, like I was just with the youngest, so I'm just like, man, the youngest are taken over by these concepts.
Yeah, boy.
I mean, they don't even know nothing about themselves, but they know a candy bar.
Spider-Man.
Yeah,
all
the
this
word
crazy
candy.
stuff. Yeah.
Spider-Man, Iron Man. I heard them
Yeah.
words. And see, we don't look at that. For some reason, we ignore it. That our children are identifying with non-divine concepts at
There
young.
you go.
And they are now getting attracted more and more
Wrapped up in it.
to non-divine.
Yes, indeed.
And we don't see no gift in it. It's just irks. It just irks down here. There's no respect for self and no respect for wisdom to even give the child the best so they can be, just like I'm saying, look what you gave me and look what it turned out to be.
Oh, yeah.
Just look what you can really do
Beautiful.
for
gift.
others if you just give the truth, no matter if it's wet or dry.
That's right.
You ain't got to deal with it.
That's right.
You got to deal with what you telling them. Did you tell them a lie?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Because look, that would have come back and haunt you.
Yeah, I'm gonna mess you up.
But the same thing that you told me came back to be a blessing for you. While others ain't going to receive this blessing. This blessing is for you. Because you put your time in. When people didn't turn to the Creator, you turned to the Creator.
Yeah.
You did actions, as it said, that showed your faith.
Yep.
And you was willing to put anything at risk for the risk of safety
Oh, yeah.
and the risk of knowledge. So Allah don't forget. Allah will always keep his and hope they see the signs that he given them. Because that's all he can do at that point. And the wiser we are, the more we know our Creator.
Yes, indeed. I want to point out something here. When your wife showed me that this mega church in Texas and how they were celebrating Christmas and coming all down like 2 Chainz and all of them, they be coming down on the cables out the sky, out the ceiling.
Yeah, like Michael Jackson. I'm
You're
telling
putting
you.
on a show.
Yes.
I mean, and you see, if you pay attention, you're out at night, you see Christmas lights everywhere in a household that you can't hardly pass by. Got the decorating all out in the yard, all in the window, all in the. And look what they just had, the big parade here in Lowndes County.
Blocked off everything.
The devil blocked off all the roadways they could just celebrate. And see, this is what they're doing. They pushing this evil.
Yes.
And right there in the book of Jeremiah, the 3rd chapter, tell you don't do it. So I guess the preachers ain't interested in our soul and our spirit, but they aiding and abetting what's going on. But it's either you gonna keep being a partaker or you gonna stop. And I often think about this, and I'm gonna hush. I go back and I think about paradise, where was no sin, no evil going on, but there were yet peoples on earth. And somehow, some way, they lost it. By not being obedient. Because they was told the do's and the don'ts. The good and the bad. Right and wrong, left and right. Up and down.
And even the Al-Sufyan say they didn't even have to be told. It's already within you. You born with it.
Well,
You born.
and yet, you disobey.
You choosing to disobey.
It's all choice.
It's all choice. It's all choice.